where
Yeah,
everything drops.
I think COVID has actually really, when COVID first happened and the lockdown all happened, Facebook ad costs went down a lot
Yeah.
because there's more inventory, right? And there were a few businesses that stopped advertising because they were trying to figure out what was going on. All their fulfillment was messed up. So you got a lot more inventory, fewer people advertising, ad costs went down.
Yeah.
But then what happened is businesses pivoted and more started to go online. Now people are starting to kind of transition back into real life, and so there's less inventory now and even more advertisers. So it's almost like COVID a few months later is at the opposite effect, combined with the elections, combined with just Q4. It's,
Yeah, with
you know,
holidays. I mean, I know
you know,
there's some businesses that aren't even, they're just turning ads off for this quarter because it's not worth, it's not worth the gamble.
it's yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy out there.
Yeah, we'll
What
see.
they really need is well-written copy, and then
Yes,
they
that's
get it
right.
all solved, right? Well, we
Good,
can
good, good
tell.
pattern interrupts. Yeah.
That's right. We can tell them where to come. So
Right.
I'll just follow your lead, Saba. You
Okay.
just you lead the show.
Yeah, I'm just trying to keep track of everybody trying to
We
be
can.
good.
Oh yeah, you gotta like Zoom makes you let everyone in now.
I know. It's one of
We
their
got
new things.
Reginald,
Okay, so
Krista, and
Ariba, I
Ariba, and
think
Lutfi, Robert,
has,
Matt,
yeah, let me see here.
John, Gerlene, Lisa, Amber, Brian, Thea.
Kimmy just joined. Welcome everyone.
Timmy.
Let me just do my share screen. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Hold on. Okay, you guys can see that?
Yes.
All right, this is from Ariba. Ariba, do you want to jump on and just give us a little bit of context?
Yeah. So we had this virtual intensive mastermind back in September, and now they want to sell the recordings of it. And this is for an internal promo, so it will only be sent to their email list.
Okay, so this is, okay, so it's a sales page.
The email list.
And they wanted to have a short form sales page.
Is this for V-Shred or something?
It's for Vince Del Monte.
Yeah.
Oh, Vince, I gotcha.
So I think I would do something with this headline because it's the virtual, intensive. Say something like, because I don't know if I've seen some of his like webinar pages and sales pages and things like that, and they're definitely very bold and direct, like really strong headlines. So I would suggest since it's a virtual event, do something around how, like now you don't have to leave home to get like this fast track training or whatever it is that it's inside, whatever he's teaching.
Yeah, and also you could potentially, instead of the headline, really bold being the virtual intensive mastermind, you could perhaps take that little subhead and make that more of the focus, the benefits that you're getting. It might not be as important if it's going to a warm email list, but the virtual intensive mastermind as a big, huge heading might not exactly suck people in. Again, it depends on how much selling is happening in their email before they come to this.
Yeah. And I mean, it's recordings of this event, right? So you're going to hype up the event as if it's like actually happening, but then you're going to say, now you get like insider access, right? Like it was like a one-time event. Now we're giving you like insider tickets or whatever to watch it, even though, people paid however much. I'm just going to fix this for you. It's bothering me. I don't know. Does it say how much people paid?
Yeah, for this offer.
Mm-hmm.
So they haven't decided the price point, but it will be low ticket, somewhere from between $47 to $97.
Okay, but no, I meant like because this is
the actual mastermind.
The actual mastermind, yeah, that was $497.
Okay, so definitely want to highlight that somewhere that people paid $497 to attend that, and you're getting you're getting insider access for however much. But yeah, otherwise, I mean, the flow is great. you know, you highlight all of the benefits. And I mean, yeah, this is for fit pros who basically want to start going online, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. I would also, I know a little bit about this space, and you've got at the top, it says, what if you could start, grow, and scale your online fitness business, even if you have no marketing knowledge, no business knowledge, no huge following? Do these people have any tech savvy?
No, they're not.
Because
They're
that
not.
could be something, yeah, that could be something else. And I don't even know if the mastermind deals with that, but I know that's a potential benefit to these people is not only are you getting the marketing, the business, even if you don't have a huge following. I think those are very compelling. But you could perhaps replace like no business knowledge with maybe like, you know, no technical ability or no, no computer programming experience or
Yeah,
something like
you
that.
could say even if you're not good with tech, that's, you know,
Yeah.
that usually hits home for people. And because they don't know, you know, some of these are still learning online marketing and, you know, fitness marketing in general. They might not even know things like, you know, driving big amount of leads to their business, closing leads and things like that. So I would do more that, you know, getting the right types of clients in the door, right? Like how to attract the right types of fitness clients, you know, the ones that you love. That was a big one. I worked with you know, a fit pro in this space, and he was offering a similar thing. It's like a coaching program for fitness coaches, basically, on how to get your business online and basically, you know, attract the right types of clients because they're looking to sell like fitness packages for, you know, however many dollars a month, thousands of dollars a month packages, basically. And they just act as like fitness advisors for this person and give them workout plans and everything digitally versus in-person training. So a lot of these personal trainers, you know, they're kind of new. They're, you know, they're used to working at like a gym or a private studio, whatever. And we're trying to convince them to basically transfer their business online, and we'll make it very easy for you to do that. So I would maybe, you know, maybe add a couple of bullets here that just like how to attract, you know, the perfect fitness clients. And I remember one of the main pain points for them is they don't have to deal with these like clients at like 6 a.m. in the morning, right? Like they don't have to work these crazy hours just to meet their income goals, you know, doing back-to-back training sessions. Now they learn how to sell high ticket packages basically, and they can make a great living just, you know, sharing their knowledge and expertise and helping people.
And one thing too is drive a massive amount of leads to your business. I'm not sure if that's the best way to communicate that benefit to this
Yeah.
audience. And maybe it is. You obviously know more about the market than I do, but I'm thinking for them, that sounds like a lot of work, you
Yeah,
know, like,
exactly.
and
Like
they're used.
driving leads is a marketing term, right? Like, you know, the
Yeah. Yeah,
average
we know
business
it's
owner is
exactly.
not going to, yeah, is
So
not going
maybe
to do it.
highlight the ease of driving those leads. And I'm not sure if they'd be impressed with a massive amount of leads, because if they go beat the streets and they use the typical personal trainer marketing, they could get a massive amount of leads just through hustle and hitting up family and friends and referrals and everything. But if you can highlight that it's going to be an ease of lead generation that helps answer all those other objections that you answered earlier about no marketing knowledge, no technical ability, even if you don't have a huge following, that they're going to be able to easily drive leads, and then drive a massive amount of leads. You might need to kind of sow that in order to that. So like drive a massive amount of leads to your business so that you can work with the clients you want to,
Yeah,
as Sabah was
exactly.
saying. So,
Yeah, spell it out a little bit more. And I wouldn't even say
mhm,
drive a massive amount of leads. I would say something like, you know, attract the right types of clients or work with your dream
yeah.
clients, you know, like
Yeah,
that's,
that's kind of a marketing jargon
Mhm.
right there. They might not, yeah. Yeah, they probably know what it is, but it doesn't sound appealing. It sounds like hard work.
Yeah. Remember the pain points that you're trying to solve for these fitness coaches is they've got empty calendars, right? They're not charging enough because they do in-person training. So they want to be able to charge a lot more and work less. I mean, that's usually like, you know, this is like the freedom lifestyle, right? That they, you know, sell these high ticket packages, have a few really good clients, and now they love their work, and now they've got lots of free time rather than being stuck in a gym and just taking, you know, back-to-back personal clients for like $50 an hour, however much they charge. So yeah, anytime, remember, remember that, you know, you're talking to one person, you're talking to one personal trainer who's, you know, had a really rough like week, you know, that the clients are not showing up to the gym, so they don't get paid. They're having a hard time getting people on the books, you know, and they're thinking, do I do this online thing? I don't have a good following. Like, I'm not that popular. Maybe I don't know enough. You know, those are the types of things that are going through their head. So you have to kind of hit them with a really great idea that, you know, well, you can get online. Thousands of fit pros have done it, and I'm going to show you how to do it. You know, attend this event. I'll reveal XYZ.
Yeah, this makes sense. Thank you.
Get a few more details too, like at the very top bullet point where you have the muscle there, it says build your online fitness business from ground zero. Building an online fitness business, I mean, you could snazz that up a little. You know, build a full-time online income. You know, build a six-figure online fitness business. If you're coming from warm email, you can get away with stuff like that.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, this isn't a Facebook page, so you
you can go crazy, right? This is the anti-Facebook. We'll put before and afters on and everything, right? But you know, say, okay, build a six-figure online fitness business from ground zero in your first year. You know, you can put a time frame with it. All the stuff we can't do in Facebook, we're going to deliberately do it here, right?
Yeah, and you can say things like, you know, I'll show you how to get your first like 4-figure client, you know, because they usually charge at least $1,000 a month for these types of packages. So, you know, that's appealing to somebody, right? That they can just lock in a client that is basically paying a monthly fee.
And Ariba, what are the biggest pain points that these fit pros are feeling? Like, what are their big objections? Because when you say the part later with the X's, right? You say all without wasting your time, sacrificing family. Like, what are their big pain points?
Yeah, so for them it is that they don't have any marketing or any tech knowledge. Like they don't know how to pivot to this online training route. And besides that, they have been burned in the past by other business coaches. Like not most of the people, but some of the people that are coming to Vince and they are on Vince's list are those that have been burned in the past by other business coaches. And they have told them that they need to, you know, spend their money on paid ads, or they need to build an expensive funnel to get started online.
Right.
So these are some of their pain points. But the main thing that is common with everyone is that they don't have any marketing knowledge or any tech knowledge, and they're very overwhelmed.
Yeah.
And I think that would be what I would have guessed. My little knowledge of this market is it's the marketing knowledge, it's the online know-how. That's your last bullet point. I might make that first, and maybe even, you know, somehow really flesh it out that even if instead of setting up fancy funnels and automations, you could maybe put parenthetically to the side whether you spend hours doing that, trying to do it yourself, or pay thousands of dollars to some tech nerd, right? You could help flesh out that pain a little more, and I would kind of elevate that pain point, because I'm guessing these people, they don't want to waste time, but they're not afraid of hustle.
Yeah.
So I think these are hardworking people. If they're wanting to start an online fitness business, they want to know the battle plan. They don't necessarily want to know that it's going to be easy. They just want to know that what they're going to do is actually going to work.
And they need guidance, right? So you're going to say, I'm going to make it easy for you. Like, I'll show you a step-by-step roadmap. They love that. Blueprints, roadmaps, anything that shows
proven process.
Gives them the solution.
Yeah, and take that tech pain point, and you can really elevate that and hit that home. That even if you have no, you know, tech knowledge, you're still going to be able to do this. But I mean, this is good stuff.
Yeah, and then I think, Ariba, you have a question, an ads management question.
Yes, so I was watching one of Rudy Maver's presentation in the members area, and he had mentioned something along the lines of, but I think I might have misinterpreted it something, so I thought I should ask you guys.
Okay. Rudy's, which members are you in his ROI members group?
I think she's talking about Copy Accelerator.
Yeah, Copy Accelerator.
Oh, okay. Oh, from last year? His report? Yeah. Okay. Is it a good practice to set up 2 ad accounts in your business manager, then use the pixel from ad account B to run ads so that ad gets banned? Yeah, we do that.
Yeah. So ad accounts shut down. You're going to get me on my Facebook soapbox. And, you know, the day after an election, I think pretty much everyone's seen the brunt of Facebook being crazy. But accounts get shut down all the time. I've had 2 accounts shut down. I've had agencies I worked with have their business managers shut down. We've all got it back. It was all false flags. We got it back. To Facebook's credit, they've done the right thing and they've put us back in the right. But in the meantime, you're down. I've also heard of people getting ad accounts shut down that they weren't unable to get back for one reason or another. Sometimes they made a mistake. Sometimes it was a minor one. Sometimes it was they realized it after the fact. But a lot of people advocate protecting yourself by having redundancy, just like this, to have two ad accounts.
We usually set up backup accounts just because, especially when you've got clients that are spending thousands a day, they really can't afford to have a pause, right? Like you need that account back up and running and the sales coming through the funnels. Like it's just not even, it's not an option to wait a few days or things like that. So yeah, we usually set them up as a backup.
Yeah, one thing too is if you
Especially
do
when
that,
it's in the compliance space, right? Like if you're doing supplements, weight loss, you know, these business
finance
offers,
and basically those are the people who pay for Facebook ads, right? I mean, it's like the tough markets for compliance are the people who actually pay copywriters. But there's more that you want to do in addition to this, and you set up different payment methods for each of those accounts. Like anything you can do to separate the two, and we can talk later about it.
Yeah, like use credit cards, try and use,
exactly.
You know, if they have different business partners, they use their own credit cards, like different names. That can help as well. Yeah,
because that'll happen too. If depending on the grievance of that one account, they can take down every payment, every connection to that account. Whether it's
check it's crazy. They check your credit cards, Facebook identities. Like there's a lot of things attached to. It's the account. So
yeah and honestly, like
yeah, that makes sense. Thank you guys.
Yeah, you can do it, but it's like if it's a big deal, don't worry about it. I mean, it's like the redundancy, that's kind of for, I don't know, like that's next level kind of stuff. But it's
just and are you running the accounts, Ariba, or is this just for a media buyer?
This is for some of my own stuff, so I just wanted to get it clear.
Oh, look at her.
Yeah,
she's doing everything. Aren't you in med school too?
Yeah.
What do you not do, right? She's taking over the world. She's going to run for president in 4 years. Actually, you're probably too young.
Very cool. Okay. So,
all right. That was great.
Yeah. I hope that was helpful, Ariba.
Yes, it was. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I like all of Lutfi's comments. That's where the gold is, over here in the comment section. Lutfi saying that Facebook's not his friend. He's going over to YouTube.
You know, YouTube ads are, quote unquote, easier to run these days, but Facebook.
It's hard to be tougher.
Yeah. So
all right.
Krista, do you want to hop on?
Yes. Hello.
Hi. Hey, Krista.
Hello. All right. So yeah, I have two Facebook ads in here. These are both on their way to being tested. This one was for Scott Phillips, and then
awesome.
I have 3 versions of this one. I'm now learning just the picture and headline. So curious, Lauren, your feedback on my other one for the Thanksgiving freebie. You said it's better to try and change are you saying like the first few lines rather than the headline and the picture?
Yeah. If you have to pick one thing, one piece of copy to test, rather than testing the headline for a Facebook ad, I would test those first 2 or 3 lines of copy.
Okay.
The intro of copy. Depending on the placements you're using, you can test them both. It really depends on the client's budget and what they're willing to put money behind and how they want to work. But I would advocate, if you had to pick one, pick the intro.
Okay. Yeah. So really just looking for kind of feedback on, getting into it.
So I'm guessing the Nap Your Way to Better Trades is going to be the headline?
Yes.
Okay. So like I'm telling you, take a nap. Like a lot of times what's happening, if you just picture it, people are scrolling through Facebook, just kind of like zone out and try to pay attention to how you're using Facebook next time you do it. Like it's kind of hard because then you'll start using it differently because you're realizing you're paying attention. Yeah. But people kind of just look at those first 2 or 3 lines. They're not going to read the headline, look at the image. And I mean, some of that might happen subconsciously, but they may just read, they see a guy napping with a dog and it says, I'm telling you, take a nap. And they're just zooming by.
Right.
If I read the headline, I'm like, okay, better trades. But if I just kind of quickly look at the image and the first line there, I don't know if it's like for a sleep product, or is this a pet product, or like, are you selling couches that I can take a nap on? Like I would give really clear context immediately in those first 2 or 3 lines that this is for traders.
Okay.
Like, I'm telling you, the best way to trade is to take a nap. Right? That's horrible, but you
Right.
see the idea is like,
Yeah.
you inject it. You inject the context of what this is for. Or I'm telling you that the secret of being a successful day trader is taking a nap. You know, that would be, you know, one particular thing. What do you think? What do you think, Sabah?
Yeah, and you can also play on the, like, you know, what if you pick the best trades in your sleep, you know, like things like that, because you're still playing on the whole idea that this is so easy, you know, you can basically nap, you know, you can sleep and get results. So, you know, I'm trying to figure out though, so the offer is the system.
Yeah, he does webinars and live, like you can watch him do some of the tradings live if you're part of his membership.
Okay.
This goes to his, he was changing a lot of things in his funnel at the time. So he's kind of just starting to test some Facebook ads just now. So wanted to kind of touch up on them because I wrote these maybe about a month ago, and he's just getting into the points. I wanted to kind of refresh and just see a couple of things. So
Gotcha. So what is his system? Is it like a step-by-step process that he shares, or?
well, it's a system in Forex trading, like I don't know how to describe it because I just know that it's a term in Forex trading, like your system for the actual where your money is going.
Okay.
So yeah, the system is a trading term, not his. It is his system, but yeah, not like a step-by-step system. It's your actual trading system.
Gotcha. Is it like some sort of software or tool?
No, I don't think so. I think it's just his philosophy on day trading.
Okay.
So I'm thinking like it's cool how you open up that loop, like take a nap, and then you close it at the end. But honestly, sometimes with Facebook, like
Yeah. Was it? Yeah.
Yeah, like
You just like click here to see how, you know?
a lot of the stuff with Facebook is they have such short attention spans. Like that open loop, if you're not, it's like you're saying take a nap, but then you start talking about other stuff, and I'm like, what do I have to do with taking a nap? Like a lot of times, instead of continuing to scroll and close that loop, I'm just like, I'm bouncing.
Right.
You know, so you can close I think it's okay to close the loop of like what the nap is, but maybe just do it a little, you know, you don't have to do that at the end. It can be a little just kind of quicker and punchier.
Right.
You know, one thing too is when you say you've heard a lot of things about trading before, that's kind of like a kind of generic phrase. Instead of saying you've heard a lot of things, like maybe you've heard these myths, right? Maybe you've heard these common mistakes, like something more than just a thing.
More specific. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, something to kind of like counterintuitive stuff really works on Facebook, and this is kind of counterintuitive because
I just want to add to that too. You know, you can just keep it very conversational. You've heard it before. Learn how to read the charts, follow my plan, and be, you know, because these are actually just like everyday like things that most of these people who are selling these trading tips or whatever usually say, right? That's what you're trying to say.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I would just cut it down to you've heard it all before, you know, and then the focus will be on these 3 things. And then he's basically saying, I want to do something new. I don't want to tell you my success stories. I want to personally walk you through my mistakes that work and things that don't.
yeah. So I think kind of the benefit is like you're gonna see him like live do this stuff, right?
Yes, that is. Yeah, that's part of the.
Yeah, so that's like a huge differentiator.
Yeah.
So he's kind of got these dual differentiators of taking a nap because you're letting the system do the work instead of being hyper up on it, and the other is you're going to get to see him over the shoulder. So you can play off of the opposite of that. You know, you could say like you know, you've heard this before. Try technical analysis, base your trades on this, and you've seen all the gurus who are just showing you their one good trade they had 5 years ago. I'm going to be better than that, you know, and you can further highlight Scott's differentiation by comparing that to what has come before, you know,
Right.
comparing that to everyone else, really making them stand out even more. And you could even make those other guys sound like skeezy, you know, sound like they don't have the authority that Scott has. That kind of gives him a little authority and credibility by virtue of being compared favorably to that. So, you know, these are possible things you could do. And you could too also, what if you, I mean, there's so much you could do, right?
Yeah.
That's the thing about Facebook ads. There's all these ideas, but the difficulty is you've got to make decisions, and you've got to, sometimes you make a decision. I'm going to take this particular path because I only had a few words. You could tell a story about Scott being like, you've heard this, and you've heard these people say this, and you've seen the guys still talking about their one win. Guess what? I just took a nap and I made this big trade, and almost tell like his story, tie that in with
I
like with
that
a
too.
nap. Like, man, look at all, I just had this trade. I just did this because I followed my system. And guess what? I'm not going to show you this one trade I made 5 years ago. I want you to see me trade live right now. Let's go and come over this webinar. You know, that kind of plays up more of how he's different, you know, because I think that's what you really want to highlight here. I get the feeling, I know Scott, I've actually talked with him a little about his Facebook ads and stuff. So,
He's unique.
Oh, he's
in
a great,
way.
no, he's a great guy. He's super smart, and obviously he's successful. But his audience is, it's not the typical Agora audience, which is older, conservative, maybe not as well versed in finances. He's hitting more on like the real savvy younger guys who kind of know what they're talking about.
Right.
So you can these guys are aware, and you can really use a lot of the jargon that they use and a lot of the particulars for that to call out Scott as it's not just like this general like, hey, I'm going to help you trade better so that you can get your retirement better, which is for the Agora guys. Like, you are differentiating yourself from the other day traders.
Right.
So you could tell, like, really paint a vivid picture of, you know, you just saw some used car salesman type, or I don't even know what these guys are like, but really paint like a negative picture about what the market thinks about those. I'm not going to be like that. I'm going to do it live right now.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely include the live component. Maybe rework that first line. And more of a story about him actually talking about how cool it is that what he does and sharing it now.
Awesome.
That would help. And then we just had a couple of comments in the chat.
Oh yeah.
Jazz is saying the second sentence probably get the ad disapproved. I don't think so. This is, you know, the good thing about writing in first person on Facebook is you can actually say you know, throughout it because you're talking. It's like a first person narrative. So, and that's not really implying anything at all. Though you've heard a lot of things about trading before. So it's not going to be not compliant.
I've heard mixed things. You definitely, and this is, Sabah, you were talking about doing like a compliance call like sometime, and so we can talk. We can talk more deeply about this, but you don't want to call them out for any personal trait, like, you know, is your diabetes still bugging you, or something like that,
or is your money, you know, even saying something like, you know, are you still throwing money away on your trade? I mean, I guess actually you could use that one. But yeah, the whole idea with Facebook is you're calling out, you're making them feel bad about themselves is the idea. So anything.
Yeah, I had another version that was way too strong for this before, that had a lot of that. So
you can use probably technically, if you're calling them out as just reading the copy, like like the first line, I'm telling you, taking that, you could get away with that. But that being said, compliance is really sometimes like a black box, and you just kind of hear these things, and sometimes it doesn't make sense. And I've heard from reps that say, don't ever use you, just don't even do it, because I've heard people say that they'll flag that, and if you use that too much, that can be a negative. It's crazy.
We use it all the time. It's context. And then obviously, you know, if your landing page and everything is compliant, like but it is context. I wouldn't eliminate it because it is really powerful. I mean, and as long as you're using like a first person, if it's a first person narrative, you can definitely get away with it.
I've never had any problems with it, but it's just one of those things. Be aware. Some people say like, don't even do it. And if you were really pushing the line with some other compliance issues, maybe that would just be one thing you kind of change.
I mean, if this
helps the whole
account
package.
has been banned a few times and you're still trying to run ads and you're kind of pushing the boundaries on, you know, the language and stuff like that, you would probably, you know, get it flagged. But in general, just for, you know, everyone, you know, it's not really it's not like you can never use the word you. I mean, if your client is really, scared about it or something, maybe, you can write it in third person. Like most people experience this, or, a lot of people do X, Y, Z. That's how you.
And it may be better too to like, yeah, I would do it in third person. And personally, I think you can ask a question if you really wanted to. You could say, have you heard these things before? But you're kind of implying something about them. You're telling them what they've heard, which.
Yeah, but it's not a negative attribute. I mean, personally,
Yeah.
the whole personal attributes thing is like some sort of, like
Yeah.
flaw that you're trying to highlight.
So it's probably fine, but just be aware if it gets flagged, just say, oh, we'll change it, or whatever. The counterintuitive part. So, okay. So Gerline was saying, what can you expand? Can you expand on what you're saying, Lauren? The counterintuitive part. One thing that works really well on Facebook, and I mean advertising in general, is to say something that is controversial or counterintuitive, like take weight loss. You think the best way to lose weight is cut calories, but that's actually the worst thing you can do. You think the best you need to lose weight, you need to eat vegetables, but I think the best way is to eat tons of chocolate chip cookies, right? Not great copy, but that's kind of what I'm talking about. That type of idea, the type of stuff that you look at and you're like, that goes against everything that I have thought before.
Yeah.
For instance, I'm working with a client, his Copy Accelerator member. We're doing guitar instruction, and he's talking about how learning scales is actually not the best way to learn guitar. Don't learn scales. And instead we go through why that's wrong and why there's better ways. And that's kind of one of those things people are like, well, wait, that's exactly the opposite of everything else I've heard. I'm intrigued, and that kind of gets some reading. But you want to do it in an ethical way that actually presents your message well. So hopefully that makes sense.
Contrarian is the word.
Yeah.
Reginald. And I think Reginald, this one is yours up next. Does that help, Krista?
Yes, very much. Yeah, and I had one other one in it. You can skip that one. No, this was really helpful. I've got a lot to work on, so that's fine. I'll bring that one to another one too.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Anytime. She's so nice.
Yeah.
All right, we got Reginald next.
Reginald, do you want to hop on and give us a little bit of context? And we do have to move through these a bit faster.
Oh yeah, what's the cutoff?
I want to do 75 minutes, 90 minutes max. I do have to leave right at 5:30.
We will drill down.
Okay, so hello guys. This is a sales letter for the law of attraction niche. I just wanted to take an angle. I found a story about a guy who got his brain injured and found hidden talents, and I kind of wanted to tie that into the product, which is subliminal, where the more you listen, the more you open your mind, and the more you open your mind, the more you attract more things. Okay. So that's where I took it from.
And this is a sales letter, not an advertorial, right?
Yeah, sales letter.
So I might not open up with like, is this really a true story? Did this really happen?
Yeah.
You've probably already got their curiosity at this point, hopefully, and maybe there's better ways instead of like trying to open a loop at this point. Maybe just make a declaration like, I'm getting ready to tell you something crazy about how this guy had a traumatic brain injury, and then it ended up unleashing his potential. And then perhaps
actually, and just to add to that, I would actually write the story out. So spend, maybe about a page or two, and just say, on the night of whatever, so and so, got into how, I don't know how this brain injury happened, but tell the story. Like, he got into this car accident. They were so worried that he wouldn't survive, and it turns out he had this serious brain injury. 2 days later, he woke up and discovered that he had these gifts, and explain like how he discovered he got the gifts, like really give the reader a chance to get into what happened and how amazing this thing is. Because really, basically what you've said in 5 lines is this amazing thing happened, but is it true? Like we're losing all the momentum of this,
And specifics too, awakening creative dormant gifts hidden deep within. Like, what does that mean?
Yeah. And really talk about like something that I don't know how, we don't have background on his story, but explain what happened. Or if you have to make it up, just explain that like he woke up one day and realized that now suddenly he could see, I don't know, like
he
X-ray vision
painted,
or something.
yeah, he used to never be able to draw, and now he could paint the Mona Lisa from memory, or
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
sight reading, Mozart, and he's never played piano before. I mean, flesh it out, and it might not be that. I mean, I don't know. In the law of attraction, sometimes that niche, they're all woo woo. They don't really have examples, so maybe you don't have anything to work with. But
Well, the
teleporting them into
brain
one of abundance and joy and happiness, like what are some specifics, because all you're doing is saying, like, this happened, you got teleported into a life of abundance, but what does that mean?
Yeah, like explain that he discovered how to control, the mind power. How did he develop it, and what that did for him, right?
Mhm.
So I like this, that in rare cases, traumatic head injuries. Actually, I would say in most cases, say something like in most cases, traumatic head injuries, completely eliminate the ability to create and, function in society. But by some like crazy, I don't know, act of God or whatever, this guy survived. And not only that, he suddenly became a savant, in whatever he does really amazingly well now.
Okay.
And he discovered how to start manifesting. Like,
Yeah.
think of a story that you can come up with to illustrate what happened.
Yeah, I went into the story down there. Okay.
Below.
Yeah. So what is the mechanism? Because how does the law, and maybe you say this in the sales letter, but how does the law of attraction come from a brain injury? Like, how do the two connect?
Okay. So for this niche, they believe that your thoughts attract things, but it's more so your thoughts has to be powerful enough. And with his brain injury, what happened is he opened up his mind where his brain became powerful enough where it not only eliminates negative thoughts, but it gives positive thoughts to the point where it attracts. What
Okay.
he, yeah.
Okay. So he wouldn't have any examples like, he painted the Mona Lisa from memory. It would be more like I did some meditation and it worked better than ever before.
Yeah, but the thing is with savants, they actually do have like instances like that, because I also wanted to inject some proof. And I was gonna give like several cases where, like you said, some people paint, some people have
Yeah.
Like special
pianos.
gifts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But on
Yeah.
top of
Basically, he taps into some sort of gift, right? That
that,
he didn't realize he had before.
I like that. I think kind of the cool, like, brain injury angle is cool. I
yeah,
just think your challenge is connecting that to the law of attraction, because it kind of seems like there's a separation. It's like, okay, I can see someone's going to get a brain injury, so now they can memorize things that they previously couldn't do. They're now a savant and they can do calculations in their head. How do you then connect that to the law of attraction? That I think that has to be really powerful to make this page work.
okay.
I think he was trying to say it's this thought signal, right? Like that he
Mhm.
developed this like super powerful thought signal. But yeah, like Lauren said, you need to come up with a story now that somehow he recognizes that this is like a super powerful thought signal, right? And then he applied it somehow to, visualizing something that he wanted, and then he got it. Like there's got to be that story happening.
Yeah, like the proof. So you could go the cases like where you've got the list cases. You could say Susie Q can now add. She can multiply numbers in her head, and she never could before. And John Doe over here has this. He got a brain injury, and now he can break dance or whatever, right? And then, oh, guess what? Let me tell you about this guy. He had this brain injury, and all of a sudden he could manifest better than ever before, and use their language, of course. And he got this. Now all of a sudden his career totally. Here's how this.
Just do the
You lay out
visualization. Yeah, just do the
exactly.
visualization. Like he mastered visualization, right? Because a lot of
You lay out his case, right, and the examples of him, and say, here's him, and then you can start talking more about law of attraction. But you kind of jump from like, here, okay, list cases, and then all of a sudden you're saying, allowing you to turn thoughts of a dream house, passionate career. You just kind of got to make the case that this is connected to. I think when you list cases, if your final case is this guy, it'll work. He's got to be your proof. That's the linchpin that ties it together. And the more specific, the more believable you could get, the more powerful everything is going to transition from that. And that kind of transitions it to the law of attraction, because you're not talking about helping people paint or dance or do math in their head. you're talking about manifesting intentions.
Yeah, and that's your headline too. You're talking about the guy that, you know, is a brain injury survivor, and he's at almost 100% mind power. You might want to think of, you know, rework the 100% mind power. You know, people don't usually, I guess, talk about their mind power, right? Like you might want to say something like, I don't know, mind magnetizing abilities or something like that just kind of explains what mind power means.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm trying to think, like mental, it would be more like mental power, right?
Yeah, 100% mental power.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That would probably be better.
Unlock mental power. Okay. Okay, so I see where the weak link is. It's basically connecting the two.
Yeah. And definitely lead with a strong story, you know, of like actually telling, if you want to do this type of lead, you know, I would flesh out that story about what happened.
Yeah. So basically go into a story lead.
Yeah, I think it would be very powerful for this one.
Yeah, with a story lead. Yeah. Because I wanted to, like, with my challenge with the law of attraction is there's not a lot of proof. So I actually wanted for it to be jam-packed with a lot of proof to like make it 10 times better. So
Then you might need to change the headline because, you know, this is obviously like a story about this brain injury survivor, right? But then you are sharing like different examples.
mm-hmm.
So I guess it would depend on how you tell this story.
Yeah.
We'll need to match that.
Yeah. It's like how I'll position it. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll work on it.
Yeah.
I really like the angle though, the brain injuries helping law of attraction. I mean, that's kind of a cool thing. If you know, you can really prove it and connect it and make it work. I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Good job, man. I like it.
Yeah. I think Sabah's last week call, she was like, sometimes you gotta have fun. So I just went back to the drawing board. I was like, this is a really cool angle to use. So yeah. Okay. Do you think me talking about he had a brain injury and a part of his brain, which scientifically is like the anterior loop, got opened? So that's because that happened, he was able to like unleash hidden talents, but it's also because that opened is why he was able to start manifesting. Do you think that's a good?
You know, you could actually go to the science. Now you could make it more scientific because you could basically say like you said, he opened that part of his brain. And then you can say, you know, scientists have shown that this part of the brain does X, Y, Z, right? And it's probably responsible for like creativity and that meditation center and all of those things. So you can really break it down from like, this is what science shows. And you'll find lots of information about that there, just talking about that part of the brain. And then you transition into, okay, and this part of the brain has also shown for people who are doing visualizations and manifestation, this is the most active part of the brain, right? Like, so then that's how you kind of make you take the reader down the journey of how.
That's really good.
Yeah.
That's really good. That's really good. I really like what Sabah said. That's good. That'll give you a way to add some proof and
valid,
like
to make it sound a bit more credible, right? Especially because there's going to be enough, if you know what part of the brain they're talking about there, you'll find lots of scientific stuff on it.
Right. All right. No, that's awesome. Thank you guys so much.
You're welcome.
Oh man, no problem.
Yeah, good luck with this one. This is a fun one.
Thank you.
Let me see.
Did Krista have another, or was this the same one?
No, I think I think Brian. Let me see. Lisa. I think Lisa's up next. Yeah, Lisa, do you want to hop on and give us some context?
Hi guys.
Hi.
Hey.
Hey, okay, so it's a very short Facebook ad.
Okay.
For like basically they're a couple and they are teaching others how to get started in real estate.
Okay.
And therefore it's a bit a challenging niche because there are many words you should avoid for Facebook and yeah. There's also a video underneath the copy, so the videos does most of the selling.
Okay.
And yeah.
Okay, so they're selling a masterclass.
It's a masterclass.
Yeah.
And yeah, so basically what happened is I think their ads got disabled for a moment.
Okay.
It was a mistake, but now they are a bit on edge. And basically, they wanted us to remove all words of properties, units, money, and they replaced it with emojis.
Oh, I
And
see.
I'm
Yeah.
not fully sure
I
if
was gonna
that's
say, I wonder
like,
what the emojis. Yeah, so really, you don't want
Well,
to use the dollar emojis. You know?
yeah, I've got bad news. So the bad news is Facebook doesn't want you to do what they call circumventing policies, which is if you do anything to try to circumvent their policies. And
yeah.
sometimes I've had where I use different characters that will get flagged for circumventing policies. I had a client, we used a little like registered symbol next to their brand, and we got flagged for
Oh.
circumventing policies. And I mean, it was a false flag. We appealed it, we got it back, but then we just stopped using that and we didn't have a problem. So Facebook is on the lookout for emojis and for special characters because they don't want you to circumvent their policies. If you know, some of the, if you don't want to like, say if you do like a bunch of weird characters that's supposed to be like a curse word or something like that, that's non-compliant. So technically what you're doing right here is you're using the emojis to circumvent their policies. I mean, that is what's kind of happening. So if you haven't had a problem yet, you know, good, great. I would recommend not continuing to go this road because this would be non-compliant. I would say your days would be numbered trying to use emojis to replace words. I've heard generally don't use emojis. You can use emojis to like augment, you know, like a bullet point list or a smiley face or some type of emotion.
Yeah, I'm trying to avoid the dollar one because that just implies money, you know, making money, whatever. It's just trying to avoid that one. There's another one that's like a money bag, I think. So trying to avoid that one.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But like,
you can really say thinking about buying property right now, but lack the funds, right? Like you could say something like that. And I think what Facebook might flag this for is the fact that you're going to show them how to generate money. That's really what, you know, that's what the compliance gods will probably find, you know, wrong.
weren't you saying that it got flagged for a special category like housing?
I'm not sure actually. But I think yes.
Yeah.
Got flagged.
So,
but then they said it was a mistake from their side.
Yeah.
But we're careful. So yeah.
That's what happens. Special categories. So I'll make this really brief, but there are some special categories in Facebook ads. There's housing, there is employment, there's credit opportunities. There's also political ads, but forget those, right? Let's just talk about housing, employment, and credit. You can run ads for those niches. You just have to like click a button in Facebook that lets them know, hey, this is a housing ad. And then they limit your targeting. So you can't target like men 30 to 50. You have to target both genders. You have to target all ages. You can't target certain interests because they don't want you to discriminate for housing, jobs, or credit opportunities. So that's what's happening is I've had this happen before where you get false flags where they say, hey, this is housing. And you simply say, no, it's not. Unfortunately, what ended up happening was we kept getting flags so much that we just said, you know, all right, we're done. We're just going to say that we're a special category, which really actually didn't hurt us. I was worried about it because it really limited our targeting, and we were going for a high-end customer we were targeting men and women like 40 plus that had some money. I was worried, but it ended up working out fine. So that could be something where your media buyer just elects that special category and you just run with it, see if it works, or just keep appealing and saying, if it gets flagged, just say, hey guys, this is a false flag. We're not offering housing. We're teaching about real estate investing.
Yeah. And I would just, you know, Facebook also likes it when you kind of disclose what this is about, like try not to keep it too, you know, kind of too curiosity driven. So like, you know, and you don't even need to, because they've got videos explaining, you know, what this is, but really what you could do with this is just talk about, you know, thinking about, you know, buying property, but lacking the funds. In this free short masterclass, we show you how we got fantastic deals, you know, without using any of our money, or our own money. And then maybe do like 3 or 4 bullet points. We did it by XYZ, and we just bought 100 more properties in the last few months with this strategy. Discover the strategy in our free masterclass, like something like that, just to give it a bit more context, because, you know, that's definitely going to help basically prevent a flag too, because you're being sort of upfront about what this is about.
Is this for real estate investing?
Yeah, so they teach others how to get in real estate, but yeah, like their mechanism is called creative financing, which basically means you invest with none of your own money.
Right, no money down. Yeah.
Yeah, I would mention for if they're really targeting like investment angle, I would talk about real estate investment, because this might actually sound like you're trying to go after people just buying their first home or something like that, which you may be putting yourself even more into that special category. Whereas if you're talking about, look, I'm just teaching about real estate investing, that may alleviate a lot of your problems right there, and also helps you target the right people. Thinking about, you know, buying property but lack the funds. Well, why do they want to buy property, right? Is it just like, hey, I don't make a lot of money and I'd like to get out of this dirty apartment, or they're teaching people how to invest? So I would specifically mention real estate investment. I would almost make this, you know, call out the specific pain points in real estate investing, make this more much more contextually obvious that this is for investors.
That's great. Thank you.
Yeah.
No problem.
Cool.
Yeah. And then the thing too, in this short free short masterclass, so yeah, how to get fantastic deals. Again, like, instead of getting fantastic deals, how to easily secure 10 properties so you can begin becoming a landlord yourself, and or however the, you know, the investment angle, rather than just get a deal on something that might, you know, just more and more. I've actually written some ads for real estate investment. It's just really heavy on the investment part of it. And then you can call out the pain points that the real estate investors have. It's like, oh, I've got all my equity tied up in my existing properties. And the more you're calling out the specific real estate investment pain points, you're just making it much more clear contextually what this Facebook ad's for.
And you're probably going to find it in their videos, that this, whatever they talk about in their videos, you can pretty much summarize in your ad copy.
Oh, that's a great idea.
And just to, like, this is just me, I don't know, a lot of people really stress that it's free. That's fine, but I might make the masterclass that it's free all later, because I'm still paying for free stuff. I'm paying with my time, and you know, there's no shortage of free videos out there for me to watch. You can go on YouTube and there's plenty of free stuff. So I think more and more as time goes on, and there's all these free courses that people can take, simply something being free is not as valuable. And it's if you stress right up free, all capitals, like it's a big deal to me, I'm thinking like, what about my time? So you can definitely mention it's free, but maybe talk more about the benefits. Here's what we've done. Here's what our students have done. If you talk too about here's what our students have done, then you're also subtly kind of getting in the idea that, hey, I'm a teacher. I teach people to do this, or, you know, we've helped hundreds of students do this using this method. Get them excited about it, and then say it's a free short masterclass. If you do that, like the second sentence, it's maybe a little too heavy-handed at that point for like, I want you to watch my masterclass. You can kind of bait them in and get them interested in the material and the benefits that they're going to get, and then say, to learn more, here's my free short masterclass. And instead of short, you know, you could even say 7 minutes or 10 minutes, or maybe not, but just an idea. But no, good job.
Thanks.
Yeah. I think we have Brian. Brian, do you want to hop on?
Yes. Hey guys.
Hey Brian.
Hey, first time on this call.
Welcome.
Me too. So you're doing great.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, so a supplement.
Yes, it's a supplement.
And do you have the sales page? Can I see the
sales page? Oh yes. Let me find that. Sorry.
No worries.
An advertorial.
Yes.
So I think we talked about this last week too, that, you know, we're like writing an advertorial like it's the sales page. You know, I have to see the sales page to see how fleshed out it is, but really advertorials are created to basically direct traffic to a sales page so that the sales page does the heavy lifting, or a VSL. So you don't usually want to give away what the product is, you know, in the advertorial, and you usually don't want to build up the, I guess, because, you know, you got like this, you got this whole story in here as part of your advertorial. So let me see the sales page first before I make that recommendation. I can show you an example of what
Okay.
an advertorial.
I just found the sales page.
Okay. I'm going to be doing an advertorial training soon. So, and I have a ton of different examples. And I'll walk through this one during that one. But did you drop?
Sorry, that's wrong page. Okay.
Okay, let me see.
That should lead to the sales page. That's the
Okay.
advertorial.
Yeah. Okay, so you've got your product all the way at the bottom as well. So this is pretty much to me, this really just looks like a sales page then.
Oh, really? Okay.
Okay, so you're driving to a product page.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, but are they planning on putting the product down here?
Yeah, I mean, that's the actual page. So I didn't know they were going to do that.
Okay.
I thought they were just going to put the availability there. But
Yeah.
Seems like they did. They changed it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, this is a good sales page though.
Okay.
Let me show you what advertorial style. So basically advertorials usually look like editorial articles, that you would see in like an online magazine or like an online newspaper. And so this is one actually I wrote for one of Stefan's offers. This is for his BioHarmony. I don't know if you guys have studied that sales page, but it's this one, very, very non-compliant page that, is a weight loss offer. It's for, so we were in charge of running traffic to it. And so I had to come up with a unique advertorial to run the traffic through. And you can see it's pretty short. It's written like an article, right? And what really made this convert well was this concept. It comes from the headline and basically the whole hook. So this new diet discovery, or no diet discovery, helping women get in amazing shape. And you see it's all written in third person. One woman shocked her friends when she showed up at her family reunion or high school reunion after using the slim down method. And so this is one of our most successful advertorials. It converted at a crazy 54%. So most advertorials convert at about 30, 40% for really good ones. This one's at 54%. And we ran this for quite a long time. And because it just did really well. I mean, Stefan, this offer is like crazy good. So Stefan will tell you all about it. It's an extremely non-compliant, very emotional story about a woman, who is like grossly overweight. She was so embarrassed. I mean, look at all this stuff. Like, this is not compliant at all. I mean, there's like copy in here about how she hates her, like, sagging thighs and her bulging belly and like fat and giant legs. Like, you can never get away with this stuff on, on Facebook. But this page converts like crazy. It sells a ridiculous amount. It's actually a dropper supplement. And you can see that the totals, like people were buying, like the 6-month supply for $174. And there's obviously a back end to this too, but he did really well with this. It was a multi-million-dollar promotion. But the traffic to this is coming from this little article.
Mm-hmm.
So, when we talk advertorials, and there's different styles too. The one that you did, I would say, is more like an e-com style because you've got the product at the bottom. And I think last week Ariba also shared one she was doing for like a pet food or a pet supplement that was written like an e-com style. And in those, you'll see that the product is featured at the bottom. The product is mentioned throughout, but as you can see in this one, I didn't even mention it. This was definitely heavy on the intrigue, right? I talked about activating a switch, and one doctor developed this amazing solution, and then find out how it works. And basically, you're just prepping the person to go read that really long sales page. So in your case, you're actually just going to a product page. So it might not be a bad idea to do this long form. I know, who does this well is Organics. They've got a really good, let me see if I can find it.
While you're doing that, Sabah, the lead, honey, grandpa can't go outside. Little Timmy chucked the frisbee or clutched the frisbee tightly over his chest as he peeked over his mom at me. I'm wondering if there's perhaps a more compelling lead, a grandfather that can't go outside with his grandson. That's really not like a burning pain point. Later on in the letter, you talk about how he's bedridden. You know, that's like more amazing. You know, I'm thinking if he can't go outside, was he just busy? You know, I tell my kids I can't go outside because I got work to do, or I'm over here doing this, running this errand or something like that. Like, and a 79-year-old not going out to throw Frisbee with a 5-year-old is not exactly like newsworthy. That, you know, seems common, but I was bedridden. Like I hadn't got out of bed in a year. My wife of 40 years had to help me go to the bathroom. It took 10 minutes for me to make the 10-foot journey and to the toilet. If you can really play that up, that would be, and I mean, I like the way you started with a quote, you know, that's really good, kind of starting in the middle of the story. But if you could highlight more of that transformation, not necessarily the pain, just being, I can't play with my 5-year-old.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
I mean, you could really start your story here. You know, a few years ago, I was practically bedridden. My friends told me it was just part of getting older, blah, blah, blah. And like, you need a stronger quote about how it's got to be something painful, right? Like, you know, I couldn't believe like that was the last day I would see my grandson or something like that, because then somehow he ended up being bedridden for weeks, you know, like just say, it's got to be something like that. That's got to be, you know, to kind of stop the tracks.
You know, if my wife doesn't come back in 5 minutes, I'm gonna poop my bed. Like, that's horrible, but like just something like that. That I've seen a lot of offers where they play up the pain, the physical pain, the joint pain of elderly people, and they end up not really doing well. And my thought is that it's just the pain isn't presented as abnormal. Elderly people have joint pain, and it's nothing. You know, you're not going to have this dramatic transformation story. You're not going to hook me in and really get me reading by talking about a 79-year-old having kind of normal issues. So play up those issues, I think, would really help this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
This is the example I wanted to share real quick. This is they're selling a supplement that it's called the Magi. It's like a biblical reference, but they basically played this page has done really well for them. Biblical scholars left speechless after discovering divine pain-killing recipe inside a 2,000-year-old manger. So, you know, it's going way back into it, like a Bible story. Definitely appealed to this market because a lot of them, the avatar is, you know, Christian, older people who, you know, really resonate with these types of things. But this is a joint supplement as well. You know, it can help with all of these things, help them get back their mobility. But it doesn't, you know, and they bring God into it, that, you know, he can help you reclaim your life, making references to the Bible. It's a very long form page, but it's just done really well. And I think it has like it's got 7 ingredients. So they talk about all 7 ingredients. And then I'll show you what the product looks like. Like I said, very long page. And you can see this, they designed it for mobile. We actually do this at the agency too, is where we format, even the desktop version is formatted like this, where it's got this really wide background and this column, almost like column, it is a column in the middle of the page. And that seems to, you know, that does tend to convert well because it's very mobile friendly too.
Yeah, probably good on mobile.
And so yeah, here's the Magi complex. But you know, this is an example. They're running Facebook traffic to this. I don't think they can run Facebook traffic direct to their product page for some reason. I think it's not compliant. But this one has been running for a very long time.
Wow. So this is like a sales letter?
Yeah.
Oh, John MacArthur. They got a John MacArthur quote in there.
Yeah, they got all sorts of things in here.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I like John MacArthur.
Billy Graham. Like, yeah, there's all sorts of.
Do they really Billy Graham in there?
I can drop this in the chat, so if you guys want to just bookmark it, because it's just a really good page, and I know they've been running it for a very long time.
Cool.
But yeah, I think just a more powerful storyline is what's missing on yours. Otherwise, it's quite good. Let's see.
Okay. Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Oh man, no problem. Good job, dude. A supplement called CMOS. Sounds, yeah, like all that stuff's pretty, and the whole Irish part of it, like it's, you know, there's a lot of intriguing stuff there. If you can just grip them from the beginning, you know.
Cool.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could try. I mean, as long as their product page is compliant, you could try more like just a editorial style article like this that just kind of leads in. Oh, but the problem is you just have a product page. You don't have a sales page. So I mean, honestly, if you can run, are they running Facebook ads to this, or?
Yeah, it's Facebook ads.
Okay. So yeah, if you're able to get through compliance and everything, you know, with your sales page, then don't worry about it. This is more like a sales page though, just so, you know, you did a great job. He made a really nice sales page. But yeah, advertorial would be more of, advertorials usually go to a sales page, if that makes sense, or VSL.
Okay, gotcha.
But yeah, otherwise you got all the good elements in here. Do you have testimonials? Did I say testimonials?
Testimonials, I don't think so.
Okay, that would be something you definitely want to add since you are presenting the product at the bottom. You know, buffer or fill your at least one of these sections with testimonials of people using this product.
Gotcha. Okay. Sounds good. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Do we have, is that it? It's a shorter one today.
I think there was one from Sam, I thought. Like a upsell? Or did I miss that? Or was I wrong?
Sam Hewitt. Sorry about that. I missed that one too. Is he
Hey, how you doing, guys?
Hey guys.
Hey.
Sorry about that, Sam. I didn't
Sorry.
skip over you. Let's see. So this is an upsell page for a turmeric supplement.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's a DSL.
Okay. Did you watch Justin's training?
No, I've not watched it yet. I missed that yesterday. I'm going to do that later on.
Because he shared a lot of really good examples and kind of went through basically all the elements you need in one of these upsell VSLs. So we can go through it here.
So with this one, I don't want to really push too hard because I'm trying to kind of sort of find the right balance of protecting the brand.
Mm-hmm.
So this is for someone who's bought the 1 bottle option, trying to upsell them to the 2-pack.
Okay.
And we've got a really good customer return rate anyway, so I kind of don't want to push too hard, but I'm not sure if I've kind of gone way too soft with it. But
You've got the line. No, I'm sorry, Sabah, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say one of the first things, because you've already sold them on the turmeric and all its benefits, I wouldn't do that again here, right? The biggest benefit of buying more right now is going to be that they're not going to run out, you know, soon, because they want, and like buying multiple bottles means that it will be in their system and they'll get like enhanced benefits, right? Like I think there's some statistic out there, like you have to take a supplement for 90 days or you know, a certain number of consecutive days for it to actually like get into your cells and actually start working. So that's definitely a good way to sell like more than like 1 month supply, right?
okay.
So the biggest benefit, you know, to buying, because remember, you're just upselling them more. You've already sold them on the fact that this works and why it's so good. So I wouldn't even include like the benefits again, if that makes sense.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and you got this line, which is why we've got the countdown timer somewhere. Let me get to it. Yeah, which is why we've got the countdown timer. This is not one of those fake urgency things. Like, depending on your market, I probably wouldn't say that. Like, they don't know what that is. Like, we're marketers. We talk about stuff like this and we get it. They're like, fake urgency, and you've just lost them. They're like, wait, what are you talking about? I thought we were talking about turmeric, and you know, so you could, if you wanted to say that, you could say it in more accessible terms that it's not so marketing jargony.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, and you capture that here, where even though it starts to work, you know, experience the most benefits. That's what you really want to highlight, that you're going to get even more benefits when you're taking it for a longer period of time and consistently. And now we're making it easy that you're not going to run out, you know, before it starts really changing your life or whatever. You know, you can stock up now. One thing that you know, that BioHarmony page that I showed you with the weight loss supplement, he has a whole supplement line, and he actually has a turmeric supplement as well. And one thing he does pretty consistently across all his offers is basically says that you know, we make these in small batches, and so I don't want you to run out before, like if you need to reorder, I don't want it to be out of stock by the time you're ready to reorder. Like that's a good way to get people to say, okay, fine, I'll just stock up now.
Okay, cool.
In this part, a little on later down after the bullet points, you say, if you've had a look at our customer reviews, you'll see some people benefit, have great results from taking 1, others enjoy taking 2 or 3. just enjoy taking? Like, is it actually better if people take 2 or 3? Do they get better results?
Yeah, they will. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'd play that up instead of like they enjoy it. I mean, like some people take 1 and some people take 2 or 3, but what's the difference? Like you just said, they get results from 1 and they enjoy 2 or 3. Like what if it's some people have great results from 1, but those who take 2 or 3 having better results, they get better quicker, they get to where they want to be faster. Like what's the benefit of taking more?
Yeah, and you can actually talk, you can give specific examples, right? Like you give an example that you could take 1 a day if you just want to help, prevent joint pain. But if you have like chronic back pain or some other, talk about like 5 or 6 different issues that turmeric helps with, then you can take 2 or 3, to really help manage the symptoms of whatever it is. Because really 1 a day is sort of like preventative, right? And then 2, if you're taking 2 or 3, it's more like medicinal, but you can't say that for FTC reasons. But that's the idea, that you're taking it for a specific reason versus just to take it for better health.
Yep. Okay, cool. Makes sense.
I mean, inflammation is the big one, right? So like if they have, so you can take it for inflammation. People know that, oh, you shouldn't have inflammation, take turmeric every day, helps with inflammation. If you have inflammation, like an inflamed back or joints, or, you're in some sort of pain, you want to say that you might need to take 2 or 3 servings, to help really manage those symptoms.
Cool. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I was a bit kind of worried about whether that would create any like buyer's remorse if suddenly people realized that they were going to have to take like kind of buy a lot more. But yeah, I think that makes sense.
Depends how you sold it in the first place. if you said like just take this do this one thing and your knee pain will disappear, then it might be a bit tricky. But
or you could do it speed to results. It's like take 1 and you're going to have results, but if you just want to get there even faster, you could take 2, you'll get there half the time.
Cool. Okay, sounds good.
And you can even talk like from a scientific perspective, just having more of it in your system will help your body overall. Like even if you have specific places in your body that have pain, taking more will kind of keep like inflammation low across like your whole body, right? Like digestive system, all of those things. So you can talk more from like a scientific standpoint.
Yeah, and later on you say it takes over 45 days to make each batch due to the way the ingredients are fermented to make them into a liquid. That's a very powerful reason why you go out of stock. Like
That's
I would
what
just,
I meant. Yeah, you want to highlight that we go out.
Make that.
Things like we go out of stock all the time, and customers are upset.
Make that front and center, and that's a really good reason why you go out of stock. Sometimes it's kind of like a fake reason. I mean, let's be honest, right? Sometimes it's like, oh, we go out of stock because whatever. But like that makes sense. Like I'm like that actually sells me that you got to make it, and then you got to ferment it. It takes 45 days, so. You could even mention that, 2 or 3 times and tie it in different ways. Mention it earlier, mention it later. That's real, and that makes sense to me.
Yeah, drive that one home. And I love this, that it's because it won this award. This company has been buying bunches of it. So just, tell them like they've been buying batches from us for however many, weeks or whatever. Again, emphasizing that this is a high moving product and you should get your hands on it.
Cool. Awesome.
But yeah, otherwise it looks good.
And great comments in the comments. Matt is throwing out some really good stuff too, some good ideas. So
check that out.
Yeah, Ariba's got good stuff. And Amber did have one question. Sabah, you were talking about advertorials were converting. One was converting at 50-some%, where they normally convert at 30-some. Is that Amber's asking, is that purchase or clicking over to the sales letter?
Clicking over to the sales letter. Yeah, sales letter is not going to convert at 50%. I think that particular sales letter, this one, I don't have the full metrics on it, but it was definitely higher than 2%, even though it was super long form. And this is Stefan's. If anyone wants to read it, I can drop the link in the chat too. Yeah, Matt, that's a great one. Turmeric works like compound interest. And if you miss a day, the effect is diminished. I love it.
Yeah, that's real good. Even highlight, yeah, that's good. The importance of keeping a constant supply. Yeah.
Sorry, Krista, did you want the advertorial link or the sales page? Maybe she dropped. Oh, the organics one. Yeah, I think I did. I think, yeah,
Oh.
the organics one's at the top. Yeah, okay.
John had a question here. He said, I'm launching an e-com side project next week, pending some logistic delays. Should I hold off on running Facebook ads until after the holidays or jump right in the thick of the holiday ad blitz? If you're launching a project, I mean, it's
depends
not a
if you
good
have
time.
offer. Yeah, if you have a good holiday
Yeah.
offer, if you can do a good promo,
Mhm.
you know, just like a really strong promotion, you'll be okay. But if you're just doing a product launch, it might not be the best time because you're still.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's kind of like, it's not a good time. Ad costs are going to be high, but the thing is, like, there's always going to be something going on. There's a reason why January is not good, and then there's going to be a reason why March isn't good. If we're looking for reasons not to do stuff, you're going to find them. So you just go in, know what you're getting into, and you know, if it really bombs, then maybe drop back in a group and come back in January.
It comes down to the offer. If you're not going to get enough traction, if you're not going to be able to get enough purchases, especially if you're starting a new campaign, if you're not able to get enough purchases in a certain period of time, you are going to end up paying a lot more for the clicks, you know, because other advertisers are going to take like the good inventory of people, you know. So you want to kind of stay ahead of that. I would definitely start running campaigns now if you can. Start warming up your pixel and getting some stuff out. Okay.
I think that was all the.
Yeah, this was a quick one today. But are there any other general questions or anything else you guys want to share today? No, we good.
Thanks again, everyone. This was awesome. It's fun.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Nah, man, it was awesome. Let's do it again. Let's do it again plenty of times. It's
Surely.
fun. So.
Don't let it end ever. Non-stop copy reviews.
Yeah.
Awesome. Glad it was helpful, guys. And yeah, just next week we will do our usual Thursday at 3. I'm actually going to Stefan's event on Friday, so I'll be in California for a few days, and then I'll come back to Florida. So we will be back next week.
That'll be cool. And thank you to all who had the guts to show us your copy.
Yeah, this is a safe space. So
yeah, exactly. But still, you know, I want to, I'll commend people that step up and do that, and hopefully it was worth your bravery there. So
yeah,
cool.
Awesome. Well, have a great rest of the week, everyone, and we'll see you next week.
See you guys.
All right. Bye.